Policymakers have been urged to implement comprehensive and deliberate policies designed to fundamentally transform the rice sector. Chairman of the Competitive Africa Rice Platform, Ghana chapter, Yao Edupoku suggests Ghana aims at becoming a net exporter of rice.
We can become producer of rice for the whole West African sub-region. If you look at the regions, for example, the OT and the Volta region alone will have enough rice to feed Ghana. You add the northern sector to it, then we are feeding West Africa.
West Africa spends, on the average, some $5 billion in rice importation annually.
There is a huge market for rice in the sub-region. From the ECOWAS data alone, we know that in excess of $5 billion per annum to bring in rice. So just imagine $5 billion every year. For 10 years, that's about $50 billion. This is the money we exchange to bring rice to consumers in the sub-region.
Senior Research Fellow and Acting Executive Director at the Institute for Fiscal Studies, IFS, Dr. Said Boachi said government interventions are key for rice sector development in Ghana.
The government has to set up even firms over here producing chemical fertilizer. The private sector should be encouraged in terms of tax breaks and subsidies to either produce locally or import fertilizer, because the quantity of fertilizer being used is so low and it is affecting rice yield. Seed is a very big problem. In fact, only about 3% of rice farms in Ghana are planted with certified seeds, contrary to what goes on, for instance, in Vietnam, whereby 80% of rice farmers plant certified seeds.
Government went to the money market today poised to raise 6.57 billion cedis in Treasury bill auction. This issuance is a critical part of the nation's short-term debt strategy aimed at refinancing maturing obligations and easing current funding pressures.
The amount will be sought across the entire short-term maturity spectrum, including the 91-day, 182-day and 364-day bills. The move comes as investor sentiment towards short-term government debt continues to strengthen. The last Treasury bill auction, held on October 10, 2025, saw significant market participation, being oversubscribed by 6.33 billion cedis. This impressive oversubscription signals a renewed and robust investor appetite for short-term government securities, largely attributed to improving market liquidity. Government is poised to raise 6.57 billion cedis in a Treasury bill auction today, and refinancing maturity obligations and easing current funding pressures. Government will be relying on the heightened confidence to meet its substantial borrowing target in today's auction. The successful mobilization of the targeted funds is crucial for the government to effectively manage its finances and maintain stability in a domestic money market.
Ghana's economic activity continued to expand in July 2025, but at a significantly slower pace compared to the previous year, according to the latest monthly indicator of economic growth. It estimates a 4.5% expansion in July 2025, a sharp deceleration from the 8.3% growth recorded in July 2024. The figures released by the government statistician, Dr. Alhassan Idrisu, indicate that while the economy continued its upward trajectory, the pace of growth has nearly halved year over year.
The services sector remains the main engine of the economy, as it contributed 58.4% of the total growth as measured by the MEG. The agriculture sector recorded strong performance, growing by 8% compared to 2.5% in July 2024. And this shows significant improvement and also accounted for about 37.1% of the total MEG growth of 4.5%. The industry sector recorded a modest 0.1% increase in July 2025 compared to 17.7% a year earlier. While growth remained positive, it was notably lower, contributing 0.9% to the overall MEG growth of 4.5% for July 2025. So overall, the July 2025 MEG results actually show that Ghana's economy continues to expand, and this expansion is led by resilient growth in services and agriculture, even as industry moderates.
The Customer Experience Professionals Ghana Association is urging businesses to rethink their approach to customer experience, support function, but as a strategic driver of profit. This report has the rest of the story.
At the fifth
on your neck and find you.
in his voice to the call for inclusive and tech-driven customer experience, MTN Ghana's CEO, Stephen Blewett, emphasized the importance of bridging the digital divide.
There's another dimension we must embrace, the idea of inclusion. Why? Because digital experiences are now the primary way people interact with companies. If those experiences leave people behind, whether because of disability, language, culture, or age, then we're not just losing business, we are excluding people from participating fully in society.
And that'll be all for Bizbrief here on TV3. For more business stories, please visit our website. It's 3news.com/business. Michael Obodu, thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next is News in Brief and my
containers with 1,500 declared from the ports so far. And the sector minister made these remarks when he paid a familiarization visit to management and staff of ECG and VRA. Take a listen.
But never. We shouldn't have been there. I mean, if ECG was your company and you were the shareholder and you invested money in it, and your management came to tell you that they've awarded contracts about 9 billion when the board approved contracts for just about 3 billion. And you can check from the records. You are given a threshold at the board of 3 billion, and you end up spending about 9 billion. And it's not as if you spend 9 billion. You've given contracts so much so that the containers, when they get to the port, you don't even have money to clear the containers. So one, you are incurring cost of 9 billion. Two, you are not using the items because they are stuck at the ports. Three, you are paying demurrage for the containers stuck at the port. So as minister, I've had to work extra hard with the other stakeholders. And I want to thank the GAPOHA staff, the chief executive, and to thank the national security coordinator and his staff. And thank the chief of staff at Madam Valerie Sawyer and co. for helping us to move those containers. It's been a very, very difficult task. But like I said, we should never go that path again. And as minister, I will not tolerate that. If it happened in the past, it must not happen today. We've handed the full document to the Attorney General. He's studying it. And if people are found culpable, I'm very confident that the law will take its course. We are not victimizing anybody. We are doing what is right and what is proper. The taxpayers' money must be accounted for.
And so the sector minister met with staff and management of VRA and ECG. On the part of the VRA, it is demanding an increment in its portfolio as the demand of Ghana's 34 million population increases. According to its Chief Executive Officer, Edward Obinkenzo, it is necessary to have at least 75 to 85% of it in stock capacity to enhance the economy. Take a listen to the CEO of VRA.
Mainly has to do with the export of electricity. VRA normally, we levelize the price of electricity in the country. With the hydro being drafted a bit because of the challenges we have within the system, we were denied in exporting most of the power to bilateral customers, that is Burkina Faso, Togo, and that's really resulted to quite some amount of money that we were not able to accrue as a company to help in putting up more portfolios of generations for the country. We also will ask that you support us to also increase our portfolio as the demand of the country increases, so that we may at least have about 75 to 85% of the stock capacity of this country to continue to support the economy of this country and also to ensure we have a reliable power for the country. As our motto goes, we add value to lives. So we want to continue to make sure that we achieve this mandate given to us.
Well, we'll bring you updates on this very engagement with the VRA and ECG. That's the sector minister meeting them in our subsequent bulletins, especially 360 this evening. My name is Josh Quinn. For more news update, just log on to our website. It's 3news.com. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.